Hello, you huggable lollipops. I am Joseph the Huggist, and this is movie review in question marks. And today, it's How to Train Your Dragon, which came out March 26, 2010. So we just passed the 10-year anniversary of this movie. Hiccup is a nosy teenager from the island of Berk, where he's fighting dragons and is a way of life. His progressive views and weird sense of humor make him a misfit, despite the fact that his father is chief of the clan. Tossed into a dragon fighting school, he endeavors to prove himself as a true Viking. But when he befriends an injured dragon he names Toothus, he has the chance to plot a new course for the people's future. I love this movie. I adore this movie. A lot of people do because it's got a 99% on Rotten Tomato. That's pretty good. It's definitely one of DreamWorks' greatest movies. So that's why I'm playing Men 2004. It's the Vikings versus the Dragons, and I know there's a How to Train Your Dragon game. I don't have it. I couldn't find it for a reasonable price. I knew I was gonna be making this, and so I was like, I'm not gonna find it for that one. So how many times I lost interest in this movie was 0. I didn't lose any interest in this movie. My least favorite scene, I don't really have a least favorite scene for this movie. The whole movie is solid. There isn't anything that I hated. My most favorite scene is right when you see the shadow of Toothless for the first time. That gets me pumped. This video looks weird. I have to check my settings. Alright, actor 1 is the actor who plays Hiccup. I close the list. So, Jay Burchanan? I did not say that right. He is pretty solid in this movie. He definitely sounds like a teenager. I think he's he was in his 20s at the point of this movie. He definitely brings, his voice lends a lot to the role of a nerd. Actor 2 is Gerard Butler. Is there anyone more perfectly cast as a Viking than Gerard Butler? His voice perfectly has that rough tone to it. It's amazing. And then I cannot say her name, but the actress who plays Astra was pretty good too. There was at one point where you can see her voice completely changed towards Hiccup when she actually did start to fall in love with him. It's pretty cool. And that's when they were flying through the skies. So my notes in the movie. How does Hiccup not have the strength to carry a sword? If he's an apprentice, presumably doing it every day, which means he would have built up strength over time. I so turned off my sound on my phone too, and it's still coming through. He would do it all every day, which means he would have built up strength over time. That part bothers me. I know they're trying to make the point where he's weak, but humans change on a daily basis. If they keep doing something, carrying it, they'll get that strength. So, a 10-year-old movie can still get me pumped by just the description of the Night Fury. If they keep having to rebuild the village for generations, how do they have the resources for that, especially if it's wood and their houses keep burning down by dragons? It's not like trees go overnight. It really is weird that they have all these trees, but if dragons keep attacking them, they're not going to have enough resources. There should be no fire there. I mean, no wood there at all. They would have just been... They would have ran out of the resources. Who designed the dragons in this movie? They're amazing. Did they look it up from actual draft myths? Or did they make them up themselves? Because they are truly awesome. Like, everything... Every dragon is real unique, real colorful, and... unique. That's the word. So whoever's in the town would have noticed that there's a whole missing bucket of fish, right? Or is it from the chief's personal stock? Like, how do you not know this? Presumably, Hiccup's been trained for a while. Let's just say a month. The training's a month. Every day he brings Toothus a bucket of fish, and the townspeople don't realize that their fish supplies are going low, even though there's less people in the town. There's 3 boatloads less people. It's weird. That part is weird to me. When Hiccup loses the cheat sheet, that's when he finally decides to do what feels natural, and that's when he actually succeeds. Flying with Toothless. Sometimes you need to follow your gut. I'm getting my ass kicked in this game, by the way. This is on all-pro difficulty. I didn't think I could win on all Madden. Plus, I haven't played Madden 04 in like forever. When they're flying so high up in the clouds, wouldn't they start to suffocate? I mean, I'm no expert in flying, but I do think most pilots have an air supply. Also, it went from day to night, like, super quick. Like, afternoon to night, we see them flying in the afternoon. Next thing they know, they go up in the sky, clouds. They come back down, and it's night. So that dragon has a remarkable ability to fly for a long time. Like, that's got to be hours where he's flying. Even birds need a rest after a few hours of flying. It's weird to see how a character who never says a word can be so impactful with his body actions like Toothless. That's why, like, old Sonic movies have such a big effect with me, because they never say anything, but they have to do visually all these things with their body in motion and stuff that is quite impressive. That's the same reason why, alright, I'm gonna bring in some wrestling knowledge, like some wrestling shit here. That's the same reason why Kane was always such a great professional wrestler, because he wore a mask and he always said he didn't speak, but he had to figure out the ways to communicate his message to the crowd. So he would use his body to signify that stuff, and that's why I always had a deeper connection with Kane, because it wasn't just you couldn't see his face, it was his whole body where you had to connect with. That's the same principle with Toothless. Toothless's whole body tells his story, and you can see it on everything. It's amazing. Ooh, yeah, cheerleaders. Alright, my final note. If a dragon that big were to go hit the ground with that amount of force, it's kind of like a bomb, isn't it? I mean, he does have gases and he creates fire. Those Vikings would probably die or get thrown back with such force. They'd probably have negative consequences for the rest of their lives from that one action. It's like an ancient atom bomb. Man, that was my last note, and that is an amazing movie. I can actually remember going to see it with my sister, my brother, and his current wife. I mean, he only had his wife. I don't know why I said current wife. That was really weird. With his wife, and we all came out of the movie. We all loved that movie. And I know a lot of people that absolutely love that movie. Like, they love Toothless. It's He's probably one of the greatest movie characters of all time. Animated, definitely. It's amazing. Like, part two of How to Train Your Dragon, I don't believe was as good as one, but part three completed the trilogy for me. Everything about these movies is awesome. So, going back to my first viewing, I still remember that movie as like in the theater. I saw it Marcus Northern Park, Illinois. I still remember leaving that theater and like my sister turns to me like, Gerard Butler did such a good job with the role of the chief, didn't he? I was like, that was Gerard Butler. I couldn't even tell. I was so enchanted with the movie, and I like Gerard Butler. I've seen 300 quite a few times, so I'm a very big fan. I could not tell first viewing. Man, that I'm still buzzing from that movie. I watched it from the just a few minutes ago. All right. Well, I have nothing else to say about the movie. I'm gonna let the rest of this gameplay footage play out. Next week, it's the 20-year-old anniversary of Ready to Rumble. So I'm gonna assume I'm gonna have Ready to Rumble. I don't know what I said. Royal Rumble, maybe. Ready to Rumble. So I'm assuming I'm going to have a shit ton to say about that movie because I am a wrestling fan. I'm more casual right now. I go into phases where I become insane and that. So I'll see you next week. Peace out, as Mr. Moss just mossed me here. Peace.
Completes another drive with a beautiful touchdown pass. The kicking team heads out onto the field. And it's on its way. The point after is good. It didn't take long, but it went a long way and finished in the end zone. And, John, we see it time and time again, big plays leading to touchdowns.
That's the kind of play that makes the offensive coordinator look like a genius. They saw a mismatch on defense, and they took a shot right at the weakest point. It wasn't a lucky play. It was just good football.
Well, the last time they had the ball, they turned it over on an interception. Let's see what happens here. Only one man in the backfield. Dropping back, closing in, looking downfield, tosses it right. Picked off. It's intercepted. Walker was able to move into position and pick it off.
That's just a case of the quarterback locking on to his primary receiver on that play.
Drops back. Fires it out to the left. He's there for the catch. 5. Touchdown, Minnesota. Now the former University of Central Florida Golden Knight throws his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. So they'll try to tack on the extra point. The kick is up. The extra point attempt is good. The Vikings have it all working now as they continue to expand their lead. Quick strike drive right there. That last touchdown drive took less than a minute off the clock, John.
Giving up such a quick score can demoralize the defense. Heck, sometimes it's not even their fault if they get put in a bad situation. They just got to buckle down and make sure they don't have a repeat performance the next time they're on the field.
It's 1st and 10. Ball on their own 22. Under pressure, slings it to the outside. Great play in the backfield. So that's about a 3-yard loss.
Loss of 4 on the play.
So we've reached the end of the 3rd quarter with the Vikings ahead of the Dragons 21-0. And we'll start the fourth quarter. Pressure coming, throwing, and it's caught. Cook ran a nice route on that pass play.
These days, offenses rely on a short, quick pass, and the receiver gaining lots of yards after the catch.
Number 12 gets set. Pressure. Looking for an option. Rolling right. Throws it. This pass is incomplete. So they're down to what could be their final play, needing a first down here on 4th and short. Number 82, the motion man. Quarterback sneak. Didn't get the first down they needed, John.
But they're in one of those 4-down situations. They're trying to get something going. It's just that nothing's working.
This one is just about in the books. Bennett. Number 51 stops him at the 26.
This defense might work.
5 yards to go. Ball on the 26-yard line. Culpepper gets set. Get out of deep. Hands it off to the fullback. Gain of about a yard by the fullback.
This is a good one to call.
Barcelona comes out in a 46.
26-yard line.
Using motion. Hand it off again. He's at the front. They blitz and it backfire.
Yeah, that's a chance you take. You're hoping to get some penetration and hit him in the backfield. But if you miss, there isn't a lot of help at the next level to keep him from picking up the first down.
Fire out. Take him out. Get in there.
They give it to the halfback. Just about a 3-yard gain there.
Heck, this is a good one to call.
Here is tonight's horse trailer player of the game.
All on the 12-yard line. Let's go. Come on. Set. Buster's great. Gaps. Bulldog under.
This game reaches its conclusion with the final score, Minnesota 21, Barcelona 0. A reminder to join us next week for
today's ball game. Please drive home safely.